From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is Wake Up Weather.
Good Wednesday morning to you. I'm Kelly Rosslyn here back in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center after spending a few days in the home weather center like a lot of you, staying home with the icy road conditions and the bitter cold that we've been experiencing. We're live at 6 a.m. and we have a lot to get to. This morning we have fog settling into the Tennessee Valley with air temperatures below freezing that could create some new slick spots on the roads this morning. So we will talk about current conditions in terms of temperatures, road conditions, all of the things, and we will talk about some near warmer temperatures before another blast of Arctic air returns to the Tennessee Valley by this weekend. Unfortunately, we can't seem to shake the cold here, but of course it is January. We are expected to see colder temperatures, but this has been some brutal cold over the last several days. Well, let's go ahead and get right on into current conditions. In fact, we do have a freezing fog advisory for two of our counties this morning. That is for Hardin County, Tennessee, and Tishomingo County, Mississippi. That is in effect through 11 a.m. And not only are those two counties seeing fog this morning, but fog is starting to settle into other parts of the Tennessee Valley as well. So no matter where you are in the Tennessee Valley, especially if you are seeing fog, I want you, one, to give yourself plenty of extra time this morning to make it safely to your destination, because roads are already in not so great shape, especially in the western portion of our viewing area. But this fog and freezing fog could create some new slick spots as well as reduced visibility. You see reduced visibility for a lot of southern middle Tennessee down to just a mile. Here in Lawrence County and in the rural areas, it is a little bit more reduced than that. Even into parts of North Alabama, still dealing with reduced visibility. So foggy all across the region. Again, that could be a potentially freezing fog. So again, give yourself some extra time this morning and be especially careful on bridges and overpasses. Slow and steady will win you the race this morning. Temperatures, like I said, pretty much below freezing just about everywhere. Waynesboro checking in at the warm spot this morning at 31, but again, everybody still below freezing, most of us in the 20s. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Waynesboro is actually in the 20s this morning. So again, temperatures at the surface well below freezing. Again, that could create some new slick spots out there this morning because we are foggy, and that fog is starting to get a little bit thicker out there. As of last check on our Arctic Air Skycam network, I'll take you around the Tennessee Valley to see foggy conditions this morning. We have light winds, and that's why this fog is starting to settle in. Again, temperatures are below freezing, so watch for new slick spots. Like I said, especially on bridges and overpasses all throughout the Tennessee Valley this morning. So if you can hold off on travel, I would hold off until this fog gets on out of here. But again, even after that, we may still be dealing with slick spots in addition to the slick spots that are still there from this weekend's ice and winter storm. Over into Waynesboro, again, really can't see much. There's a car moving down there. We can see just the lights, but that is pretty much it. Very hard to see over into Waynesboro and much of Wayne County as well. So again, the fog is thick out there. Again, could potentially be freezing fog, so you are going to want to be very careful out there. Over into Ardmore, both the Tennessee and Alabama portion of Ardmore, seeing that fog settle in. So like I said, that fog is starting to get a little bit more widespread, especially in the Tennessee portion of our viewing area. You notice Florence overlooking parts of Lauderdale and Colbert County is not looking too bad in terms of visibility, which is some great news. Most of the main roads in Lauderdale County and Colbert County are okay, but it's those secondary roads and those rural roads, especially in the western portion of those counties, that are still iced over and still need to melt and thaw out. So we are still dealing with very slick conditions on some of the roadways, again, with some potentially new slick spots out there this morning. Just be very careful. Give yourself extra time. Wait it out if you can until this fog does start to dissipate, because again, with reduced visibility and slick spots, it's really just not a great combination for travel whatsoever. So again, just be very careful, use caution, and make it a slower morning if you can out there this morning. But by the afternoon, we will see fewer clouds and more sunshine. Temperatures, I think, even warmer than what Futurecast is showing. I'm talking temperatures in the upper 30s to maybe even some lower 40s out there. So again, that should, like we've been doing, slowly but surely eating away at the ice and icy slick spots on the roads. Again, we're going to continue to see that gradual improvement, but temperatures are expected to get below freezing once again tonight. So we are going to be just dealing with some melt, dry and refreeze over the next few days. Although a lot of road conditions are starting to improve, we're still seeing some issues, especially in the western portion of our viewing area. So we'll see gradual improvement, but may still be a slow race, especially for you folks out west. For this evening, we'll see a mostly clear sky. Again, temperatures get down into the upper teens to lower 20s. For your Thursday, a mixture of sunshine and clouds. We stay nice and dry. Temperatures even warmer by Thursday afternoon. We're talking lower 40s for just about everybody. So again, we stay dry for your Thursday. Heading into Friday, we'll see cloud cover start to thicken up. I can't rule out a stray flurry or two throughout the day on Friday night, and into Saturday. But in terms of any more significant snowfall or any more significant winter precip, we are not looking at that for this weekend. Again, any sort of heavier snowfall or any sort of accumulation should stay well to our east. But again, we may see a flurry or two out of that swirling through Friday night, and Saturday. The main story heading into this weekend is going to be the additional Arctic blast that we will see. Very cold temperatures once again, unfortunately, here in the Tennessee Valley. More on those here in just a moment, but you see those winds out of the north racing in by Saturday afternoon, and that will continue to be the trend heading into the rest of the weekend. Going to be very, very cold once again. Here's a look at wind chill values. Again, the next few days, really not too bad. Again, air temperature should be well above freezing for today and tomorrow. Friday, though, that northerly wind starts to kick in, and then heading into Saturday and Sunday, we'll see wind chill values in the lower single digits and even down into the negatives, especially during the overnights and early morning. So yes, unfortunately, another blast of cold air will be on the way to the Tennessee Valley this weekend. The good news, though, is we're not looking to get much precip out of it. So again, maybe just a few flurries Friday night and Saturday. So we will take that, but again, it's going to be very, very cold once again this weekend. For today, though, again, temperatures above freezing for everybody, upper 30s to lower 40s. Cloudy to start, but then much more sunshine as we head throughout the rest of this afternoon. For the next few days, we stay dry. For your Thursday, partly cloudy, temperatures even warmer into the lower 40s for everybody. And then Friday, we'll see a wind out of the north start to kick in, some more clouds filtering in, maybe a few light passing flurries, but again, nothing going to accumulate here in the local area. Any sort of accumulation expected well to the east of the Tennessee Valley. So maybe just a few flurries Friday night and Saturday. Otherwise, the main story going into this weekend, like I said, the bitter cold returning. Air temperatures only reaching the 20s. For your Saturday, again, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night even, going to be very cold with wind chill values into the single digits and even into the negatives. So again, yes, we have some warmer days in the near future, but don't get too comfortable because temperatures will come crashing down by the weekend. Let's look at your local weather forecast on this Monday morning. Remember, fog and freezing fog starting to settle into the Tennessee Valley, so use extreme caution if you are traveling within the next hour or so. I would give yourself some extra time this morning. Watch for new slick spots on the roads, especially bridges and overpasses. Stay safe out there.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.